of people. Good to see everybody. Welcome. Came all the way. Oh my God. From a different country. Where they follow different rules for initiation. Okay, all right. Okay, we're ready to go. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Loud enough?
Yes.
Okay. All right, thank you. Satashi Shimad, His Divine Grace Sabaya. Charanada Bhaktivedanta Goswami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. ISKCON founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Anantakoti Vaishnav Vrinda Ki Jai. Namacharya Shridas Thakur Ki Jai. Prem Se Kaho Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shidwaita Gadadha Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopi Gopinath Saima Kunda Radhakunda Giri Govardhan Ki Jai. Vrindavanam Ki Jai. Nathuradam Ki Jai. Jagat Goswami Ki Jai. Yamunamai Ki Jai. Srimati Lasi Devi Ki Jai. Samaveda Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Gaur Premananda. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories the assembled devotees. All glories the assembled devotees. All glories to Shri Guru and Gauranga Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Namahom Vishnupadaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Trinamani Namaste Saraswati Devi Gaurvani Pacharni Nivasesha Shunyavadi Pashatate Jatarni. So Om Gana Timidanda Shah Gananjana Shalakya Chakshura Medikam Tasmai Shri Guruvay Namaha. So every morning we're reading from the Sri Caitanya Bhagavata. And this is of course about Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's appearance and activities. This book was written by Vrindavan Das Thakur, and right now we're reading the section where the demigods are praying for the advent, or praying because Mother Sachi is pregnant with the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and they're praying for the appearance of the Lord. So, Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaur Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaur Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaur Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaur Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Okay, so we're reading from text 153 in the Anja Kanda, or the Adi Kanda, Jumalas, in the Caitanya Bhagavata. So, Jaya Jaya Sarvasatya Maya Kalevara Jaya Jaya Ichamaya Mahamaheshvara. All glories to the Supreme Lord, who possesses a pure spiritual body. All glories to the fully independent Supreme Personality of Godhead. So text 154. Ye to me ananta koti brahmanandera vasa. Say to me Sri Shachi Garbe Karila Prakasha. You are the shelter of innumerable universes, yet you have entered the womb of Mother Shachi Devi. Text 155. Tumara yecha ke bhujate tara patra shristi stiti pralaya tumara lila matra. Who can understand your supreme will? Creation, maintenance, and annihilation are simply part of your pastimes. Text 156. Sakala samsara janarichaya sanghare seki kamsa ravana vadite vakye nare. For one who destroys the entire creation simply by his desire, can he not kill Ravana or Kamsa simply by giving an order? And that's actually a really important point right here, although it's not commented on. That Krishna in the Bhagavatam is called apta kama. You know what apta kama means? Apta, his own desire. Basically, whatever he desires happens without him even asking. Wow. He's also swarat. That means he's independent.
They have marigolds?
No, there's no marigolds here, but I need to breathe a little better. So what does that mean? He's independent? He doesn't need anybody else. We need so many people. Although I like to think often I'm independent, I don't need any of you. But I'm also dependent on Krishna, dependent on the demigods. Even if all of you are not here, I'm dependent at least on someone, isn't it? Not just the demigods, but people on this earth planet. So none of us are independent. We're always dependent. We always have obligations. Obligations to our forefathers, obligations to the demigods, obligations to our family, obligations to Australia, to the electric company, the water company, Navadweep for providing electricity to all of us. Confirmed. And then, also to Naveen providing phone service for the rest of us. And so we have obligations. And so we have a complete network of dependencies, isn't it? Whereas Krishna, he can just want something. He doesn't even have to ask. Here it says he can destroy the entire creation simply by his desire. That means he doesn't even have to ask. So, what's the problem with him killing Ravan or Kamsa or Kumbhakarna or Hiranyakashipu or Hiranyaksha? What's happening here? Why doesn't he just sit back on Sheshanag and say, these rascals be killed? Or why did these rascals even appear? If he didn't want them to appear, they wouldn't appear. But these rascals appeared. Of course, in many cases, there were devotees acting as rascals. Ravana was certainly a rascal, but he was a devotee. Kamsa was a rascal, but he wasn't a devotee. So many of these rascals are not actually devotees. But the reason Krishna arranges these things is because he wants to have fun. Without rascals, there's no fun. Isn't it?
Yeah.
Prabhupada said, without opposition, where's the chance for glorious victory? Let's say your Australian rugby team or whatever team it is. What are they called in Australia?
Wallabies.
The Wallabies?
Yeah.
What a terrible name. In New Zealand, they call what? All Blacks.
All Blacks, yes.
In Fiji, what do they call?
Flying Fiji.
The Flying Fijis. It's a terrible name too. So anyway, so let's say you're the Wallabies. So they want to have a game. And so they want to have a game instead of with the All Blacks. They want to have a game with some kids' team here. Right? There's no fun.
Yeah.
It's just they'll wipe out the poor kids. So in the same way, Krishna wants to have someone really powerful to fight with, so there's more fun. So Krishna empowers the demons so that he can have fun. Krishna's not going to just fight some ordinary, puny little... Isn't it?
Yeah.
It's just like when you wrestling or boxing, there's different classes, lightweight,
Heavyweight.
middleweight, heavyweight, extremely heavyweight. So pick on someone your own size. You ever hear that saying before? Because so Krishna arranges for someone. Of course, no one is Krishna's size, so to speak. But Krishna arranges this. So this is really why Krishna personally does things like killing demons and also like carrying out the Sankirtan movement, because the Sankirtan movement, Lord Chaitanya could assign someone else to do it. But he has his internal reasons. This is what it's actually pointed out right here. So text 157. Tatapiha Dasharatha Vasudeva Kare Avatirna Hoya Vahila Tasavare. Still he appeared in the house of Dasharatha and Vasudeva in order to kill them, not to kill Dasharatha and Vasudeva, but to kill Ravana and Kamsa. So text 158. Ete ke bhuje Prabhu Tamara Karana Apanise Jana Tume Apanhara Mana. Therefore, my Lord, who can understand the cause of your appearance other than you yourself? And actually, we understand to a certain extent the cause of the Lord's appearance is he wants to enjoy. That's it. Because whatever Krishna does, he does for his enjoyment. There's no working. Like you all have to go to work or school, right? Is everything in school enjoyable for you?
Not everything, but
What's not enjoyable?
probably Mandarin.
Mandarin's not
Yeah.
enjoyable.
Other things, actually, I don't mind other things.
You don't mind, but they're not enjoyable. You don't
Well,
go.
they're like, it depends what the teacher's plan. Like if, say for maths, if we're like doing just work papers, then it's like, okay. But then if it's like putting up math equations and then we have to like hit a buzzer or something and put up a whiteboard, it's fun.
So certain things are fun, but certain things are miserable, right?
Well, not miserable.
Not fun.
Yeah,
You know, it's neutral.
yeah.
He has a positive outlook in life. It's good. So, I mean, when I went to school, some things were miserable, like dance class. It was a Waldorf school. So anyway, but Krishna doesn't do anything that's miserable. That's the difference. Nothing that's neutral, nothing that's, all right, I can tolerate it. Everything he does is for fun. Wouldn't it be nice to be like that?
Very nice.
Everything. And not only a little fun, but a lot of fun. All right. Text 159. Tumara Jaya Eka Sevake Tumara Ananta Brahmananda Para Pade Kadite Udara. By your order, each one of your servants can deliver innumerable universes. In other words, this whole preaching can be done by Lord Chaitanya's servants. You don't have to come down. So why are you coming down? Just to enjoy and understand that, basically, try to understand Radharani and her love for him, try to see himself from her perspective, and try to enjoy from Radharani's perspective. It's all based on his selfish enjoyment. But Krishna's selfishness is good for everybody. Whereas our selfishness is not even good for ourselves. It makes us miserable. Isn't it? We just think about ourselves, we're not happy.
Yeah.
Isn't it? When you think about others, you help your parents, makes you happy.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. He's trained up nicely. At least he gives the right answers. So the tapi ha to me say apane avatari sarvadharma bhujhao prithvi danya kare. Still you incarnate yourself to teach religious principles to all and thus make the earth glorious. Text 161. Sacha yuge to me Prabhu Shubhra varnatori tapo dharma bhushao apane tapa kare. O my Lord, In Satyayuga, you have appeared with a white complexion to preach the principles of austerity by your personal example. Text 162. Krishna jina thanda karmandalu jatadati dharmastapa brahmachari rupe avatari. You wear a deer skin and carry a danda and water pot, and you wear matted locks of hair. In this way, you incarnate as a brahmachari to re-establish the principles of religion. So it's interesting. Let me read the commentary by Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. The word Krishna Jana refers to the skin of a spotted deer, worn by brahmacharis in the time of sacrificial performances. The word danda indicates either eka danda, it means one danda, or tree danda, which are made from the sticks of the polasa, kadira, or bamboo trees. In other words, braja danda, indra danda, brahma danda, and jiva danda are combined together and known as tree danda. What does that mean? Actually, the way Prabhupada explained it was your mind, body, and words, and the jiva, there's 4 dandas in a tree danda. It's interesting, it says tree danda, but it's actually 4 dandas. Because there's mind, body, and words, and you see a sannyasi's danda, there's a little hook at the top. So that's the jiva, who is engaging his mind, body, and words fully in the service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The word kamandalu refers to a water pot made from wood or a gourd. Gourd, it's like a pumpkin. They make it from a pumpkin. The word jata refers to a bunch of hair that is matted due to not shaving. And the way they would mat the hair is that they would take the tree sap and they rub it in their hair. It was not pleasant. I can tell you that. I don't have any experience with it. So the brahmacharis do not always get an opportunity to shave like the pleasure-seeking grahastas. Therefore, they often keep their hair and nails uncut. For those who live at home in comforts, keeping hair and nails uncut is the symptom of an uncultured person. But brahmacharis have some concession in this regard. Those not in the brahmachari ashram have no right in this matter. So the rest of you should just be neat and clean. Brahmacharis can be a mess. Not really, they're clean. However, if they're doing deity worship, they have to cut their hair and nails. This is for a different yuga. It's referring to the Satya Yuga. Text 163. Treta Yuge Haya Sundara Rapta Varna Hoyagya Purusha Pujao Yagya Dharma. You appear in Treta Yuga with a beautiful red complexion. Although you are the Lord of sacrifice, you set the example by engaging in the performance of sacrifice. Shruk Shava Haste Yagna Apane Kariya Savari Loyao Yagna Yagnika Hoya. Wow, sounds like someone's in ecstasy back there. Barking on it. You carry a sacrificial ladle and spoon in your hands and encourage everyone to perform sacrifice. Now, the interesting thing is, nowadays you actually see fancy people who do fire sacrifices. They have different types of spoons when they do sacrifices. You ever seen that?
Yes.
So what's described here, all right, in the commentary, it's a ladle made, the shruk is a ladle made from the wood of the Vaikankakata tree and used to offer ghee in the sacrifice by the length of one's forearm. It keeps changing.
Yeah, I think the
Yeah.
white thing.
And it has a handle on one end and a bowl with a spout shaped like the mouth of a swan on the other end. The word shruva refers to a spoon made of kadira wood. One end is rounded like the tip of one's thumb, and the other end has two semicircular indentations. It is part of the paraphernalia for performing fire sacrifices. Let me take some water. Uh-oh. But actually, Prabhupada just used a normal kitchen ladle. So that sort of complexity is not meant for Kali Yuga. Prabhupada, in order to preach Krishna consciousness, okay, Prabhupada, in order to preach Krishna consciousness, believed in the KISS philosophy. Keep it simple, sadhu. So we, of course, thinking we're more intelligent, believe in the KIC, kick philosophy. Keep it complex. Kicks, you know. Keep it complex, sadhu. And everything's gotten much more complex since Srila Prabhupada left. The fire sacrifices, they go on and on. There's this mantra, that mantra, you know, it's just, oh my God. Isn't it? And so things should be very simple. If we make things too complex, no one will join the Krishna conscious movement. Because it's just like, oh my God, just like these forms that sometimes you have to fill out for initiation. You know, it's easier to get a job in the government with security clearance, you know, like
Yeah, that's-
top secret security clearance,
Yeah.
than it is to get initiated in some places. Isn't it?
Yes.
You have to, it's much easier. They check your background, they look at your social media. On Facebook, he posted a picture of his wife, therefore he's not qualified to take initiation because he's too attached to his wife. Isn't it? And all the children are also there. He shouldn't be attached to children. You know, to take his initiation, you can't have any material attachments in this world. Oh my God. And then finally, when you're 85, and obviously your wife has passed away, you can take it. There's not going to be any improper interactions with your wife after that point. Isn't it? So, anyway, we make it so complicated. I joined the movement, you know, sit down, chant Hare Krishna. You know, we used to chant Hare Krishna in the Hare Krishna movement. That used to be our mantra, you know. You know, Hare Krishna, but, you know, anyway. So you chant Hare Krishna and you worship the deities. I was made a pujari, a head pujari, after 2 weeks in the Hare Krishna movement. Oh, we only had a picture. It was the deities, but wow. And I was opening up temples after 6 months. What does, you know, of course, initiated too. Anyways, we're not going to get further into politics here. So, yeah, so we made it very complex. But these things with the spoons and everything like that, you can do it to impress people. Just like in Mayapur, they put on these fancy little hats with the rabbit ears on them. You ever seen that?
Yes, yes.
It's not even part of our sampradaya. But just, you know, people want to be impressed. by Brahmins, Actually, it's interesting, Prabhupada, when he did arti, I saw Prabhupada do arti at least twice to the deities. Prabhupada wore a shirt. There's actually pictures of it.
Yeah.
Krishna Balara Mandir.
Yeah.
And also in Dallas, Texas, when Prabhupada did the deity installation. So I said, oh my God, what about the Hari Bhakti Vilas? We make things so complicated. And then we get into, we pick and choose verses from ritualistic shastras that sort of support our own chauvinism, or, isn't it? So then, it's just like, wow. Of course, there's verses for everybody. Whatever you want to do under the Vedic designation, you can find a verse to justify it. Anything. Like, for example, one sannyasi said to Prabhupada that, can I worship Ganesh? And Prabhupada jokingly said, you can worship, because he had worshipped Ganesh to make more money. Then he was giving to Prabhupada. So it was all right to make more money. So Prabhupada said, only if you can give me $100,000 a month can you worship Ganesh. So he actually did it. And the funny thing is he installed Ganesh inside his safe. You know what a safe is?
Yeah.
Where you keep your money. So every time he was open the safe was Chintamani, yeah, it worked. So, but people get into all these things, and you're just like, oh my God. I just remember in the beginning we just worshipped Panchatattva. It was so nice, dancing. Panchatattva with dancing picture. Okay. So, text 165, now we get to Dwarpa Yuga. Divya Mega Syamavarna Haya Dwapare Puja Dharma Bhujabo Apane Gare Gare. In Dwarpa Yuga, you appear with a transcendental blackish complexion that resembles a monsoon cloud. You preach the process of deity worship from house to house. That, of course, is Krishna. Text 166. Pitavasa Shivatsari Nija China Tori Pujakari Maharaj Rupe Avatari. You wear yellow cloth, and you were decorated with the mark of Shivatsa. As a great king, you personally demonstrate the process of deity worship. In other words, Krishna had his own deities. The interesting thing with Lord Ram, he didn't worship his own deities. Lord Ram actually gave his deities away to a Brahmin. This is the whole story in the Ramayana. Because the Brahmin had actually taken a vow not to eat unless he saw Lord Ram every day. So Lord Ram thought, here, you have my deities so you can eat, don't worry. So anyway, that's very interesting. So, but Krishna meditated on himself. You never hear about Lord Ram meditating on himself, did you? But Krishna would wake up every morning and do self-meditation. And then the rascals nowadays say that's the process of self-realization, to meditate on yourself. Kali Yuge Vipra Rupe Dari Pita Varna Puja Mare Veda Gopya Sankirtana Dharma. You appear in Kali Yuga as a Brahmana with a golden complexion to inaugurate the congregational chanting of the holy names, which is unknown through the Vedas. Text 168. Katekava tumara nanta avatara karashati acheha shonkya kiribhara. Therefore, you are the source of innumerable incarnations. Who has the ability to describe them? Text 169. Machurupe tumijale pralaye vihara korma rupe tumi sarva Jivera Adara, in the form of Macha, you enjoy in the waters of annihilation. Macha, of course, the fish incarnation. In the form of Kurma, you are the shelter of all living entities. Karma is the tortoise incarnation. 170. Hayagriva Rupe Kara, Vedara Udara, Aditaicha Dvimadu Koitabe Sanghara. In the form of Hayagriva, you save the Vedas by killing the original demons, Madhu and Koitava. So, okay. Text 171. Shivaraha Rupe Kara, Pritive Udahara, Narasinga Rupe Kara, Hiranya Vitara. In the form of Varaha, you deliver the earth, and in the form of Nishinga, you tore apart the demon Hiranyakashipu. 172. Malire Chela Apurva Vamana Rupa Hai Parashurama Rupe Kara Nikshatriya Mahi. In the wonderful form of Vamana, you deceived Bali Maharaj. In the form of Parashurama, you rid the earth of Kshatriyas. 173. Ramachandra Rupe Kara Ravana Sanghara Haladara Rupe Kara Ananta Vihara. In the form of Ramachandra, you killed Ravana, and in the form of Balaram, you performed innumerable pastimes. 174. Buddha Rupe Daya Dharma Karaha Prakasha Kalki Rupe Karamalacha Ganera Vinasha. In the form of Buddha, you exhibited compassion, and in the form of Kalki, you destroy the malechas. 175. Danvantari Rupe Karamrita Pradana Hangsa Rupe Brahmadire Kahatatva Jnana. In the form of Danvantari, you delivered nectar to the demigods, and in the form of Hangsa, the swan incarnation, you spoke on the absolute truth of Brahma and others. 176. Shinarda Rupe Vina Dhari Kara Gandha Vyasa Rupe Kara Nija Tatvera Vyakyana. In the form of Narda, you carry a Vina and sing your glories, and in the form of Vyasa, you explain the truth about yourself. Of course, these two are Shaktavesh avatars. That means they're not Vishnu, they're not God, they're servants of God, but they've been invested with some Shakti. That's why they call it Shaktavesha. Shakti means some potency. Like Narada's potency was to preach, and then you have others, like Vyasa's potency was to compile Vedic literatures, actually to divide the Vedic literatures, which originally one into four, and then the different ones like the Itihasa and the Mahabharata, and then the Puranas and stuff like that. And Prithu is also a Shaktavesh avatar. He has the potency of being a king. So each and every one of these Shaktavesh avatars, they're giving a specific potency, not all potencies. You understand? Because only Krishna has all potencies. So it's not that Narada has the ability to create and destroy universes. It's not that Narada is a king. It's not that Narada is compiling the Vedic literatures. He's advising Vyasadeva, his disciple. So there's a limitation with the Shaktavesh avatars. It's not that they have all the powers of God. So, all right, text 177. So, Sarva Lila Lavanya Vaida Gadi Kari Sange Krishna Rupe Vihara Gokule Bahurange. In the form of Krishna, your unlimited enchanting Gokula pastimes include those of all other incarnations. In other words, Krishna's Vrindavan pastimes actually have all the qualities of the other incarnations. So you're not missing anything if you go to Vrindavan. You can just go to Vrindavan and all the holy places are there within Braj. All the holy places. Actually, their original form is there in Braj. There's, of course, Lord Shiva's abode is there. Then there is Narayan's abode in Braj. All the abodes of the different incarnations are there in Braj. So you only have to go to Braj. You don't have to get a bus and go all over India, like we did. So, Eyavatare Bhagavata Rupa Dare Kirtana Karibe Sarva Shakti Parachare. In this incarnation as a devotee, you will invest all your transcendental energies in the performance of kirtan. Text 179. Sankirtane Purna Haive Sakala Sangsara Gari Gari Haive Prema Bhakti Parachara. The whole world will be filled with the sound of Sankirtan, and pure devotional service will be preached house to house. So, text 180. Ki kahiva pritivira ananda prakasha tumin richa karibe midya sarva dasa. How can we describe the happiness that this earth planet will enjoy when you dance along with your associates? 181. Ye tomara pada padma Nitya Dayana Kare Tansavara Prabhave Amangala Hare. The mere presence of those who constantly meditate on your lotus feet vanquishes all inauspiciousness. Wow. Really amazing verses. Text 182. Padatale Kande Pitivera Mangala Drishti Matra Dashadik Hoya Sunirmala. As such persons dance, and this is referring to Lord Chaitanya's devotees, the touch of their lotus feet destroys all the inauspiciousness of the world. By their glance, the 10 directions are purified. I remember that with Prabhupada. Certainly that's a fact. 183. Bahu Tule Nachite Swagaran Vignanasha Hena Yasha Hena Nritya Hena Torah Dasa. Such are your glories, such is the dancing, and such are your servants, that when they, God bless you, when they dance with their arms raised, the disturbances in the heavenly planets are destroyed. So potent is the dancing and chanting of Krishna's holy names, that even the disturbances in the heavenly planets are destroyed. Okay, one more verse. Padmyam pumer disha drikbyam dorbyan chamangalam diva bahu dosadyate rajan Krishna bhaktasya nrityata. My dear king, when Krishna's devotees dance in kirtan, they destroy the inauspiciousness of the earth by the touch of their feet, the directions by their glance, and the higher planetary systems by their upraised arms. That's interesting. Wow. And this is actually from the Padma Purana. One of the other Puranas, one of the 18 Shuddha Puranas. Hari Bhakti, it's also from the Hari Bhakti Shuddhaya, 2068. Okay, so we'll end the reading here. Any questions or comments about any of these points? Yeah.
So you know how you said how Narad Muni and Vyas weren't ordinary incarnations of Vishnu?
They weren't Vishnu Tapa. They wasn't God. They weren't God. In other words, they couldn't create, destroy universes. They didn't generally have a Sudarshan chakra.
What do you call that? Did you call it a Shakti?
Shakta Avesh. It's called the Shaktavesh avatar. It means an avatar that is actually empowered rather than Krishna himself. Now there's different types of avatars if you really want to get into technicalities. There's Yuga avatars. That means the avatar that appears in each age to teach the Yuga Dharma. There's Leela avatars who just go to have fun.
Kill demons.
They kill demons, but they're basically just having fun.
Yeah.
They just come down to have fun. But it's always fun. There's Manvanta avatars, which means each and every Manu cycle, there's someone in charge. And generally, the Manvantara avatars are Jiva souls. They're also Shaktavesh avatars. There's the Purusha avatars. Purusha means Lord Mahavishnu, and Garbhadaksha Vishnu, and Shiradaksha Vishnu. And finally, there's Guna avatars. That means Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva. And Brahma is not Vishnu Tattva, nor is Shiva Vishnu Tattva. But Vishnu is Vishnu Tattva by definition. Okay, so those are what's called avatar. The word avatar means to cross down. You understand? And just like the word, it's the same as the word tirtha, which means a bridge. You understand? A crossing place. That you can cross to the spiritual realm by going to a tirtha, or as we say in modern science, a portal. You know what a portal is?
Yeah.
Really? How do you know?
Minecraft.
So Krishna consciousness is just like Minecraft. Because you can go to a portal and just go back to the spiritual world. And actually you are in the spiritual world right now, but you just don't see it. All you see is walls and bodies, right? Oh, computers, microphones. That's all you see. But actually Krishna's there, you don't see him. Why can't you see him? Because you think you're a little boy. And you think those are your parents. Of course, they never understand this. But anyway. It's temporary. Yeah, they are your parents. But it's temporary. It's like a soap bubble. You ever blow with soap bubbles? And it's just like, yes, it's a nice soap bubble. And what happens in a few seconds? Pop! So in the next life, are those you're going to be your parents too? Yeah?
Maybe. Hopefully I don't have enough life in the material world.
Oh, that's good.
Hopefully I don't need to have
Yeah. It's temporary. It's all temporary. But you still have to listen to your parents, right?
Oh man.
You didn't like that one. Even though it's temporary, you got to listen to your parents. Be obedient. Do you like the word obedient?
Interesting.
That's a political way. You're very intelligent. He knows politics already. Political correctness. So, who else has a question? Anybody else with a question? No? Yeah.
Oh, good. Then, when you were singing earlier today, Nrsimhadev.
Yeah.
Is it Nrsimhadev or Nrsimhadev?
Nrsimhadev. It's actually Nrsimhadev.
Okay.
Although, you can't produce it Narasingh, because that's also correct, but the way it is, Nrsimhadev, N-R. But, technically you could say, it's Narahari Rupa. Narasinghadev. So I don't think it's wrong, but usually Jai Nrsimhadev, it's actually Nrsimhadev. Usually it's not
Ah.
You know what the word Singha means?
Lion.
Lion. What does Nara mean?
Human.
Human. So Nara Singha, or short, is Nrsinga. Okay, good question. John, yeah.
So Gurudev, so you were saying in terms of Brahma and Shiva. So in terms of qualities, Gurudev, so Krishna has the 64 qualities. So then the Narayanas has 64 qualities or 60 qualities?
No, 60 qualities.
60. And then Sadashiv is 58. Gurudev?
Something like that, yeah.
Okay. So it's all based on the qualities, the avatars?
Yeah, there's an analysis
Okay.
of the different qualities of, and only Krishna has 64. Vishnu doesn't have 64.
Yeah.
Like the 64, Vishnu doesn't play a flute.
So
His beauty is not as great as that of Krishna. He doesn't have intimate devotees like Krishna does. Not really intimate people who punch him in the arm, like buddies. Nobody walks up to Lord Vishnu and says, "How you doing, Vishnu buddy?" He doesn't have wrestling matches with his devotees, right?
yeah.
So he doesn't have those or intimate pastimes.
Yeah.
Lord Vishnu is not sneaking off in the middle of the night to dance with a bunch of girls. You never hear about that. Although Lord Vishnu did, in one particular junction when his wife left him, he got married to someone else. You know the story?
Oh.
Bhudevi. He found Bhudevi, and then Sri Devi got really upset with him. How can you do this? You're not supposed to be polygamous. And so she got so upset that she started fighting with Bhudevi. And then Lord Vishnu said, "I got to get out of here. This is a little too much for me."
Yeah.
And so he turned himself into a deity. And that's Balaji, Venkateshwara. And they turned themselves into deities too. So you got Venkateshwara and Shri and Bhudevi. Nice story. Okay, so maybe we should end because we got a lot of things happening today. And a lot of things happening tomorrow, a lot of karma for me tomorrow. Karma tomorrow, I become a karmi. No, not really. It's just begin playing words. So, all right. So, on that happy note, we can end. We have a lot of people watching today. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. All glory is to His divine grace. Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.